So some Palestinians shot some people in Chicago.
Yep.
Do they know like how many bullets
Not
were
from
shot,
Palestine.
or was it like a bunch?
Several.
Is there a video of this?
No, it's all on the police scanners that I've seen.
I'm sure there will be a video. Everything's on video these days if you wait long enough.
Right. White sedan this morning, black sedan this evening.
Wait, what?
Two separate events. A white fucking car this morning. They put all the schools and stuff on lockdown around noon. About 7:30-ish their time. A black sedan and shooting.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the whites and the blacks.
Well, probably some of that too, because that's just natural Chicago.
Wom, wom, wom. Anyway, dude, how's it going, everybody? How y'all doing tonight? This is E Honda 420 and friends for 2A Taco Tuesday. And we're doing a show where we talk about stuff. I'm Kamala Harris, where the future is where we're looking and we are unburdened by the past.
Yeah.
Unburdened by what has been. What's the other part? I forget what the other part is.
Suck cock for heroin.
Close
That's what I
enough.
imagine she says.
There is an actual quote. I forget what it is, though. Ohio, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, I've been better. Found out yesterday I got roughly a month left to live in the house. So, because we're officially having the sale on the middle of next month.
Do you ever have a good day?
No, I don't.
Okay. I was just checking.
Well, hopefully you get some money for it at least, yeah?
A lot less than we should be getting, unfortunately, because got to pay off the fucking bank notes and everything like that from the mortgage.
Well,
So,
hopefully it all works out.
yeah, I mean, maybe.
Pat Riot,
Hey, how's it going?
are you in Chicago right now rioting?
No. I'm in the same place I always am.
Connecticut.
Trying to take over the world?
Yes. What are we going to do tonight, Brian?
I'm glad you got the reference. Thank you. Lawfully armed. What's up, man?
Oh, just waiting to see what can be unburdened by what has been.
Excellent. Excellent. And the most tactical of Muffin Top. How do you
What
do,
up?
good sir?
I'm doing okay. I just got done with the chat on my end.
How's things in the Great Plains?
Well, apparently you can't talk about beef with anybody in Matt's chat with you around. Very cow-like, very corn-like.
Matt was the one who was getting all upset about the cows.
I
I was just
very
like,
upset about the cows.
who gives a fuck about, like, is there that big of a difference of, like, where the cow comes from?
Yes.
I think the
Okay.
difference is what you feed them, right?
Yeah,
That's the main difference. And then, like, I suppose there is some factor, I would think, of, like, how happy is the cow? Does the cow have a fairly good life? Or is he just, like, stressed out in, like, a feedlot the whole fucking time?
Yeah, our cows don't have to just sit there and have the Mexicans with food trucks look at them and run at them with butcher knives. They get
But-
relaxed.
But beyond that, I mean, maybe, like, the Hawaiian cows, like the Zuckerberg cows that have, like, really good Hawaiian flowers and weird shit to eat that's Hawaiian, like the weird fruits that they have and shit just sitting around because it's Hawaii.
Yeah.
Maybe they taste better.
Dude, your cows have to be lit. They get to be high as fuck all the time. They're just eating like Sour Patch Kids and shit. It's going to be a delicious steak.
Well, the weed doesn't just grow. You got to grow it. Because really, like, most of Colorado, nothing really grows in. Like, the eastern part, you can grow. There's farms, it's just like Nebraska or Kansas or anywhere else, But 3/4 of the state is either desert or mountain, so it's kind of tough to grow shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, I took the FZ6 and got the front tire fixed today. Got a whole bunch of parts in. We're doing the fork seals, brake pads, oil change, frame sliders, a couple other little things next. Nice little fucking rundown of the bike. I did find out, like, it's obviously been dropped. I think it was dropped a little bit harder than it was sold to me as, but the guy who was looking at it said it wasn't a big deal and just got to straighten out the handlebars a little bit. So that's kind of nice and bad at the same time. Like, bad news, but, like, not that bad, if that makes sense.
Yeah, medium.
Medium
It'd be
news.
like that sometimes.
Oh, Shot Red, how's it going, Dad?
Good.
I just called you Dad. I don't know what that means. What is a Dad?
I didn't pay attention.
Shot Red hates me because I couldn't get him on my chat for some reason.
No, I hate you. It's like, it don't work.
I know. The only way I know how to fix it is to shut down the stream and so I can let you guys back in.
So it's a common occurrence with Rumble, huh?
Yeah, it happens a lot, quite a bit.
Really? I was thinking about switching over to the Rumble app. Is it that bad?
I mean, it works fairly good, but sometimes it's a little quirky. But you also don't have, YouTube stealing everything you do, even us talking right now, and, taking 25 to 28%, and then restricting your voice to the point where we can't hardly talk freely. So there, minus that bullshit, it's pretty good.
Well, that's Rumble, not the streaming app or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Because the streaming app goes to YouTube too, yeah?
Yeah. Rumble
You can go to any
Studios.
destination.
Yeah, I think I can go to X too, and a couple others. It's kind of
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Anonymous says...
Locals on there.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, they have locals as one of the destinations for it.
not bad.
Yeah, I think if you're going to go Patreon or locals these days, I think locals is the answer. Because, like, it has streaming abilities, live streaming abilities that Patreon doesn't have.
Oh, yeah. Patreon's definitely on the censor heavy, especially now they want to get rid of certain content, people that have been giving them a lot of money. I find it interesting.
Are they going after gun people again?
Yeah.
Gun people that like looking at the adult stuff, all types of shit.
Oh man,
Adult-
Buttwrinkle said, "Where's Leo? Is his car white or black?" That's funny.
Anonymous says, I bought a project bike, Honda Shadow 600. Dude, they made basically the same Honda Shadow for like 40 fucking years. Finding parts for that should be pretty fucking easy. Whatever's broken, it's a simple fucking bike. Congratulations.
So
Funny
you're saying
thing,
it's the Glock of bikes?
I don't know. But make sure you get good brakes and tires on it. Like getting it running is one thing. Getting it moving forward is good. But you also want it to be able to handle and stop. So,
Funny thing, I was looking at the bike. I saw that little Honda Rebel. Looks nice.
I mean, those are fine bikes to learn on. They're only 250s, and they're not very fast.
Oh,
Which
yeah,
you would
these
think
are
is like
fixed.
good, like for a beginner, which it is. Like for a very beginner, it's good to have the kind of power that there's no way you can really fuck up. Like you can do as much as you can with that bike, and it just kind of goes slowly down the road.
Is it okay
But
for me
it's
to start
also-
at a 6?
We have a 500 now.
It's also kind of dangerous for that reason, because while it will go like highway speeds, it'll go like 65 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour. That's about all it'll go. Like maybe 80, I think, is the top speed for a fucking Rebel 250, like wrung out, which means if you're going down the highway and everyone else is going 85, 90, 95 as they do on the highway, now you're just a fucking road bump,
Got you. I mean, you can't really do that here in the state, but I mean, we still drive kind of fast here. But I was gonna say that's why I wanted to go with 600. What about 600 cc's?
Yeah, that's more doable. And it depends
Don't
on,
they make
again,
a Rebel
size.
500 now?
Yeah, there's Rebel 300, Rebel 500. There's a couple different Rebels. There's a Rebel 1100, actually.
Both my sons have Shadows. They're pretty nice bikes.
Yeah, they're pretty quick.
Thinking about trading in the Harley.
The good thing about the Shadows isn't, I mean, it's the reliability of them, because they're just they're Hondas, so they last forever. They're a proven design that they made some changes on over the years, but not really to the motor that much. It's the same fucking motor. So I don't know. They're good little bikes. Good little bikes. Not really my style. I'm not into the cruisers myself. But
I mean, I like both, but I think for me, I think it's jump on the cruiser. I feel like I'm too big or something to be hunched over going on that sports bike.
I mean, you can look at adventure bikes too. That's the thing I think people don't think about, because it's either crotch rocket or cruiser, but there's like a third category, really. There's more than three, but
yeah. There's a whole bunch of types. I started looking up, but yeah, there's that weird in between. It's like the kind of like a crotch rocket, but it's hanging. It's like it's upward. It looks okay, but I don't know why. I just don't like the shape of it. But I heard those can drive cross country a lot better than you trying to use a sports bike. But I might get more than one bike in the future.
How do you feel about
like
those
a
spiders,
sport
those
touring
three-wheel deals?
category.
wait, everyone was talking at the same time and I was reading the chat.
Yeah, same.
Love you.
Yeah, there's like a sport touring category. I had
Right,
a
which is
2000 had a 2002 Buell M2 Cyclone. They considered that sport touring.
that's generally the kind of bikes that I like, is the sport touring class where it's upright, comfortable seating position, but it still has the speed and ability to do cornering and the stuff that sport bikes do.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. Yeah, it looks kind of interesting.
Or upright naked bikes. I think adventure bikes where it's at though, because like they can go on road, off road, highway, whatever, doesn't matter. They got plenty of power. And they're like a little bit heavy to do like real technical off road stuff. But if you're doing like dirt roads and side roads and shit like that, it's like that's the bike you fucking want. You know what I mean? So like they're really like versatile bikes, and the way that they sit, the way that you sit on the bike is very upright. And the bikes are pretty big, so if you're a bigger dude, it doesn't look like you're not like a lollipop, You ever see like the big fat dude on a little bike kind of looks like a lollipop going down the road?
Yeah.
You don't want to be a lollipop.
Yeah, it's just the other ones. I just like the style of those. Like the cruisers and the crowd drivers.
I had a
Danny,
DRZ 400 a couple ago. That was probably the most fun bike I've ever had.
Oh yeah, dude, DRZ 400. That's a fucking great bike. That is like seriously one of the best bikes that I think anyone could get, especially for like if you're only gonna have one bike, because that'll go on road, off road, do wheelies. You can do street tire conversions on them, turn them into motards, and they're hooligan bikes. It'll do highway speeds, not all day, but it'll do them. It kind of feels like you're shaking the bike apart when you get up to 80, but that's the thing about a single cylinder. Daniel says, everyone go vote Orange Man on Elon's poll on X. It's already like 80% Trump, 20% fucking Kamala. I was looking at it earlier.
So,
Ryan, good.
Apparently, Biden has told our military to prepare for nuclear war with China, Russia, and North Korea about 3-ish hours ago.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, no shit.
Dude, that sounds like a really good reason to vote for Trump.
Yeah.
Like, yes. I don't want my kids to go to World War III.
Come on.
I could either vote for Kamala, in which case there's a pretty big high probability that we're going to be in World War III in the next 4 years, if not sooner. Or I could vote for Trump, and if he wins, there's a significantly decreased probability that we'll be in World War III.
It's on the New York Post.
Remember that hate boner for Trump, man. They don't like it.
Yeah, he has mean tweets, but we're not in a fucking nuclear war. That checks. That's fine. That's fine,
Did you guys see the DNC drop their platform on gun control?
No.
Yeah, it basically should just say written by Moms Man Action. That's just how he wrote it. It was them and Bloomberg. It's everything they've been calling for decades. Universal background checks, red flag laws, safe storage laws, magazine bans, assault weapons bans, etc., etc. So,
Jesus.
it's all the shit they tried to push here after Dayton happened in 2019, and we fought back against it, and now we're a constitutional carry state, thank God.
Brian Knight says, I see ads for Royal Enfield motorcycles. Wonder if they're any good. They're really underpowered. They're cheap, which is good. For a new bike, it's cheap. But you'd be better off buying a used Japanese bike, in my opinion. Anonymous says, it's rideable. He's talking about the Shadow 600. Tires are good. Back brake is awesome. Front brake kind of sucks. Someone chopped the exhaust, so it's unreasonably loud. The fork seals are bad after a couple of... So... back brakes being good, front brakes sucking, that is a lot to do with the fact that your fork seals are blown. When your fork seals blow, they leak oil all over your caliper and your pads on your front brake and soak it with oil, which makes stopping not the best. So what you have to do is first fix your fork seals, whether you do that yourself or take it to a shop. Second is get your fucking shit cleaned so that there's no more oil on your rotor anywhere. Clean your calipers, clean all that shit, and put new brake pads in there.
So, honor the professional on bikes.
No, like honestly, that needs to get done. If your fork seals are blown and your front brake sucks, that's why your front brake sucks, and that's the order of operations that needs to get done in order to fix it. Because if you just throw new brake pads in there, the new brake pads will get soaked with oil, and you'll be back to square one. You know, it'll be better for like 5 minutes.
Is it easy to like swap out a motor to maybe put a stronger motor on another motorcycle? Or like nah?
No. It's easier than a car, but no, it's not easy. Daniel says, no, that was a released document from months ago. Wait, what are we talking about?
Is that the nuclear thing?
Here we talk about the nuclear
There was
thing.
one that was like a year ago. There's one that happened like an hour or so ago.
I know what you're talking about now. Yeah. I don't know. Can you post the link in the private chat? I'll look at it real quick.
Yeah, maybe. I'll send you the link to this video.
I like your thumbnail. That's what Colorado looks like.
Question mark. The Prepared Homestead did one, and then I'll do the one that I found on the news thing.
Everything's in the cart. Okay, so the fact that they've made that bike for so long, I bet if you go to your local Craigslist and just look at motorcycle parts and search for
thank you,
your bike, you'll probably find something. And if not, like there's ways you can find it for cheap.
Why is I so much faster on a computer than I am on a phone?
Because you have weaponized autism on my side.
It's definitely something with autism.
Did you call it weaponized autism?
Yeah,
Yes.
he did.
It can be very good or very bad, depending on how it's used.
All right. What do we have here?
Oh, gotcha.
Biden secretly orders U.S. to prepare for nuclear threat from China, Russia, and North Korea. Realtor.com. President Biden has signed off on a highly classified plan that shifts America's nuclear strategy to focus on China as a nuclear threat and prepare for possibility that the communist nation could team up with North Korea and Russia against the United States, according to a new report. I mean, I think we already knew this. Biden made the shift in March because the Pentagon believes China's nuclear arsenal will rival the U.S. and Russia, and the New York Times reported Tuesday. So they're just reporting this. This happened back in
March, 5 months ago.
Yeah. The new strategy
So much
is called
bias.
Nuclear Employment Guidance, and also readies the U.S. for a possible coordinated threat between China, Russia, and North Korea. Blah, 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 blah. Paraphrasing these speeches. President, go ahead.
Why does it sound like the plot of the 2012 version of Red Dawn?
You know, every time I watch that movie, it gets a little bit better.
I feel the same way about Falling Down.
I have not seen that.
You've never seen Falling Down?
It's a good
I
movie,
don't
man.
think so.
Oh my god.
Dude, add it to my list of shit I haven't fucking seen it. It's
You're
humongous.
such a fetus. It's fine.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry.
You're
I
such
can't
a
help it.
Tiny little boy. So young.
I was going to ask. So I said, which out of Russia and China, who do you think is the more easier to negotiate? To negotiate. I feel like China would still try to do what they want to do.
So supple.
Don't touch me.
Guide him, Grandpa Honda.
You should seriously watch Falling Down. It's really good. It's about a guy whose wife leaves him and with their daughter, and he works for a defense contractor in California. And then a bunch of stuff happens.
Well, add it to my 80s movie thing.
It's really, really good, dude.
I think it was 90 or 91 that came out in.
And it's a 90s movie. Anyway, so yeah, war with China.
China.
Dude, again, I think if Trump's in office, the odds of China war, I think, goes down significantly. I don't think it goes down to 0.
Yeah, that was my point. I think China's going to do what they want to do.
Yeah, that's going to happen within 10 years. We just get some more time.
So this is how in castles, if you had to poop in the castle, it works. Here,
that's what the moat's for.
Oh yeah, those poop chambers they do off the side.
Then a person known as a gong farmer.
That's what I'm calling people from now on that I don't like. If I don't like you, you are a gong farmer. Did you guys hear that? Can you not hear this?
It's quiet.
A little bit.
It's very, very low.
Well, it's loud for me. I don't know what to do about that.
Falling down was shit. Okay.
Shut up, you gong farmer.
I thought we were friends, you fucker.
I just think it's the ultimate cut down. What is a gong? Then inevitably they'll ask, what is a gong farmer? And then you answer, a gong farmer is someone who collected turds from royal people at castles outside the castle walls where the turds fall.
It could
That's
be
what
worse.
you are. Gong farmers.
No, I'm not. I'm cool.
And then they use them to build huts.
Pull up the video of Trump destroying the reporter today. I think it might be here. If not, we'll pull it up. I think it is in my fucking list.
By the way, you have a pretty decent following on Rumble, dude. You might want to do an exclusive Rumble chat one of these days.
How many people do I have following me on Rumble?
Like almost 500.
No shit.
I have like 60, so you're doing really good.
And he pulls more on Rumble than he does on YouTube.
Yeah, Daniel likes Dollar Night with you, baby.
For some reason, it wouldn't let me stream to Rumble today.
Really?
To figure out why StreamYard is being gay.
Yeah, I haven't used StreamYard in a minute.
Coldfoot says it's not coming through your stream; it's coming out of your speakers and back into your mic.
That's weird. Do you have it plugged in?
Dude, I'm doing the thing that I've done before that worked fine before, and why it doesn't work now is beyond me. I have no idea.
Coldfoot's an actual IT guy.
Yeah, he's a smart.
Muffin Top just plays one on an Indian TV show.
I definitely do not.
Vote for me, and I'll fix this country. You've had that power all along, my dear. It's true. It is kind of funny about Kamala Harris promising all of the things that she's going to do once you vote for her. But she's already been in power for like almost 4 fucking years, dude.
Mm-hmm.
She ain't doing shit.
In fact, the tax on tips on taxes, sorry.
The tax on tipses?
Yeah, the tips on taxes. Tax on tipses. Whatever the fuck. God damn it.
Speaking of tipsy,
Taxes on tips. There we go. She signed into law a thing that provided the government with the means to go after waiters and waitresses and bartenders all across the nation for not claiming 100% of their tips.
Yeah,
just a couple months ago.
Well, she was also the tie-breaking vote on the Inflation Reduction Act, which is what created that whole thing to begin with the IRS. Which I find it very ironic that the Inflation Reduction Act's moniker is actually the IRA.
Guys, she was drunk. Give her a break.
I'm just saying, dude, that one's kind of funny. It's like, I guess if the people voting for you don't care if you don't do interviews, don't care if you don't do speeches, don't care if you don't do debates, don't care that you've done everything opposite of what you're saying now, don't care that the fucking whole world's on fire basically right now, and that you've been in power for the past 4 years, but you're running as someone who's just like, just now, like, oh, if you just vote for me, I'll fix everything. It's like, bitch. Plus, okay, here's another one. They're blaming Trump, and they're saying, like, oh, if Trump gets into office, he's going to go after women's reproductive rights. Right? When Trump has over and over and over again specifically said that that's not anything that he specifically cares about or wants the government to be part of, and he's left it to the states. But it wasn't even his administration under which that change happened. That was under the Biden administration that the Supreme Court, admittedly, some of which was appointed by Trump. However, it was the Supreme Court who made that decision under the Biden administration. And if Biden had that big of a problem with it, they had 3.5 years or however many years, 3 years since that decision was made to propose, pass, and sign into law a new law that would cover that nationally, but they decided not to do anything about it.
Correct.
Now they're running on a platform which, by the way, hasn't even been announced to the American people yet. What is the Democrat platform? What is Kamala's platform under which she's running for president under? What are her goals as president? Well, if you go to the website, there's still Biden's name. It's still Biden talking about Biden's plan and Biden's successes and blah, blah, blah. Why is that? Is it that they just really overlooked that and they haven't done anything about it? No, I don't think so. I think that they don't have a plan, that any plans that they have are still in the works. They're premature. And if they were to publicly state them at this point, they would be criticized, rightfully so, probably, by people who disagree with the fundamental presuppositions that make up those decisions. And then at the same time, fuck, I lost it.
No, you were doing good.
Well, whatever.
Daniel says it's all fake support. Trump is going to win bigly.
I fucking hope so, man.
Yeah, they were showing the DNC on night one, and it was like at least half that stadium was empty.
Yeah, and they paid people to get there, specifically people with a southern accent. They flew them and paid them to be in that fucking thing.
Well, they also paid off a bunch of influencers, too, in the last couple of days and gave them basically press passes to get in there.
Yeah, and they pressure washed off all the homeless people and put them in there.
So here's my
check
question.
My email. Did I get anything from the DNC?
Here's the
For
thing,
all
you don't
the
see the
protesters,
on there.
for all the
No.
protesters that are outside of the convention,
Yep.
come
With
election
their
time,
ballot.
who are they going to vote for? Because they're surely not going to vote for Trump.
They're not going to vote for anybody. They want this country to fall.
Some do, and some will just go with Kamala. I've talked to some of those people.
Dumb fuckers.
Oh,
Hey,
it's
do
gonna
not
take
get
too long.
one T, you don't get in there.
I mean, I don't think anyone really supports Kamala. I think if you were to actually ask them, like, hey, what is it about Kamala's history as vice president and as a senator over the years? What has she done that you agree with, that you really like? No one's going to
just
be able to
say-
answer that question.
Yeah, they just say she's not Trump. That's all
She's
they
a
got.
black
That's the whole
woman.
reason Biden got in.
She has the same amount of melanin as I do.
Dang, you black.
She has like very little, like put her next to like fucking Van Drake or something.
Oh, yeah, that's the difference, yeah.
UN helmets, where are those?
Hmm.
Those helmets are looking a little too bluish.
No, you.
Where's Leo right now? Is he okay?
Yeah,
Not
Leo
even
needs to be
helmets.
streaming this shit right
Light
now.
blue popo helmets.
Maybe he went down to film and something happened.
Well, so what kind of protest is it? It's the DNC thing, isn't it?
It's a pro-Palestinian.
That
In
looks
Chicago.
fucking very close to boiling over. Like that looks pretty dangerous. I wouldn't want to be in that crowd.
By the
Yeah.
way, all the people in the lime green hats are the Lawyers Guild of America. That's Soros paid lawyers.
Those dicks.
The
Whenever
green
he
I
hat.
got
gets
that
arrested, those are the
there's-
assholes that bail him out of jail.
What about the blue hats? Are they from the UN?
UN.
Oh,
That might just be Chicago's riot gear coloration from back in the day, from the 60s or 70s.
There's some of them guys got some low man equipment. So
Fun fact: those Mitch helmets are only rated for 9mm ball.
Go 40.
Interesting.
Daniel says once RFK endorses Trump, the election is over. I disagree. I think that most of the people who were supporters of RFK are Democrats and wouldn't vote for Trump if he were, something bad. You know what I mean?
There's already been talk coming out today about RFK Jr. endorsing Trump here in the next couple of days and being part of his administration in the coming months.
I realize that, but I'm saying like that's going to have no effect on the vote or very little.
Yeah, it's like saying that once Gary Johnson dropped out, it's not like all those people voted for Hillary.
I think likely most of those, like if RFK drops out, likely most of the RFK supporters just aren't going to vote, and the ones that do are probably going to vote Democrat.
Yeah,
I agree.
Actually, I was thinking about it. A lot of these people might be voting for that Chase Oliver guy.
I think he'd do more damage to the Democrat Party if he just stayed in the race. Like that's what Trump should tell him to do. Just like give him enough money to like keep his campaign going,
I think he should help RFK because I think that guy's actually going to pull some votes because he's actually like pretty moderate, which obviously Harris is very extreme left, and some Democrats don't want all that crazy shit. Like,
no,
it's just their quote unquote only option with the D behind their fucking name.
Well,
Brian Knight says, "Is it true that the DNC has an abortion bus parked outside the convention?
And
That
vasectomy.
sounds
Yes.
dark even for them." Yes, it is true. In fact, 25 babies have been murdered so far at the DNC.
Oh my god.
That lady's not pregnant; she's just fat.
And then they're also doing free vasectomies too.
Yep.
What if someone came up to you and they were like,
Can I cut your
"Hey,
dick open?
Tactical Muffin Top, have you considered a vasectomy?"
Yes.
Isn't that kind of insulting?
That is
Apparently,
insulting.
that Benny Johnson guy was over at the DNC talking to people. He's like, "Have you got a free vasectomy yet?" And people were like, "No, I'm good."
Leave
That's
my
almost
dick out of
saying
it.
like you're so ugly and stupid and fat that your genes don't deserve to be on the planet anymore. So let's sterilize you.
Why's it got to be fat?
Well, you're de-muffin topping, so it's okay,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I suppose.
You
I guess
have-
you can keep calling me fat.
You have less of a muffin top than you did when we first started talking. Yes.
This is true.
How much muffin top have you lost?
I'm teetering in between
baker's
80 and 90
dozen.
pounds.
4 muffins.
What is the total muffin top?
I hit if I usually about Wednesday I hit 90 down, but after the weekend I go up a few pounds because I drink and shit.
Too much weekend, my man.
Oh, yeah, all that bread and water, bringing back the muffin up.
I'm also eating, like my good steak and, not my portions of normal shit. Not my spinach salad and my black coffee for breakfast.
Ew.
I think what you got to do, and maybe you're already doing this, is you got to eat meat, fish, eggs, vegetables, and fruit.
I kind of cut the fruit a little bit, but some, yes.
But that's it.
Yeah.
No cheese. No
I
milk.
agree on it.
No
Yeah.
bread. None of that shit. No grains at all.
Yeah, I eat a lot of rice. That's my problem.
Yep,
Yeah.
I get caught up with that too. So I've been, you know, you get those weird food cravings and you just go back and eating that because, you know, carbs is a bitch.
They are a bitch.
But if you can stick to, I think even potatoes are okay because it's technically a vegetable, right?
Yeah. I also
So
do
carbs.
a cheat with
It's
sweet
so cheap.
potatoes.
Fry
They're
it.
better.
Well, it's less about the carbs and more about the fact that you're cutting out processed foods and you're cutting out the breads and stuff is especially bad for you with all the fucking glyphosate that's on everything.
Mm.
Like you can't get away from glyphosate. It's on all of the wheat. So anything like pasta, bread, tortillas, anything like that is just filled with fucking poison.
Yeah. I switched to pretty much a raw food diet. Yeah, no sugar or anything like that. It helps quite a bit. But I'm
By the
about to
way-
pick up a more rigorous workout routine. So
When you're buying fruit, look at the labels. If it has a 3 or a 4 on it, you shouldn't buy it because that's the shit that is like sprayed with all kinds of chemicals. You should be buying stuff with 9s as a starting number. That's actually organic.
Dwayne Christensen says, "Read my chat, Mr. Mark," and then I don't see anything from you.
oh hi Mark.
Oh, hi.
Maybe it's on
I see
Rumble.
nothing from you at all. I'm sorry. Nothing that's showing up in StreamYard anyway. Was it spicy? Did you say something spicy?
No, not spicy.
I think it was spicy.
Why does he come on as Dwayne on here, but on Muffins he's D.D. Whaler?
Because he works for the CIA.
He didn't tell me that.
Brian Knight says, "Holy shit! I thought that was a joke. They really are Sith Lords, dude. I'm surprised they don't have the Church of Satan fucking having like fucking seances outside the van or whatever. They probably are around back. The camera's just not showing it.
I was gonna say, give it time.
Praying to a
Democrats
goat.
really just need to embrace the slogan, "We sterilize our own" at this point.
Maybe they need to make more movies about lesbian Jedi witches.
Nope. Fuck no. I can't believe they did
We don't
that.
want them to. We don't want them to make it obvious, Ohio, because if they keep it up, we can outlive them in a generation or two, as long as we don't get replaced.
Well, we're already being replaced.
Yeah, that's the exact point of them bringing all the illegals now.
When you pass someone to see if they look as stupid as they drive.
No doubt.
Nobody fucking picks Luigi. What a bitch.
The trouble is, yeah, they're sterilizing their kids and not having kids, but as the saying goes, they don't need their kids; they have yours. They own the education system.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
home.
that Randy, whatever her name is, the woman that's the head of the second largest teachers union, was at the DNC yesterday doing her speech thing, does like preparation for it or whatever. And I swear to God, dude, that woman is like pure Hitlerian evil.
Fuck you, ban religion.
Yeah, NC Lucky says, "Did you see Ukraine banned religion today?" Yeah, I don't know if it's all religion or if it was a certain church or whatever, but Zelensky passed some edict and now they're threatening to arrest priests and they're like boarding up churches.
What's your guys' take on Russia making that declaration of people coming into the country?
I kind of want to go to Russia.
I think it's
What's the
genius.
declaration?
I was
It's
reading
genius.
it, and apparently
So what
it's
is it?
only a 90-day temporary visa they're giving you.
Get going, Ohio. Here's your
But
fucking
yeah,
chance.
They gotta vet you out. They don't want a bunch of liberal shitheads coming in.
Wait. So what is it?
So basically, Russia, specifically Putin, was talking about, I guess, they wanted to have like people that were sick and tired of Western liberal ideals and stuff like that come and join
Wokeism.
Russia, and they're going to give you a 90-day visa, a temporary visa to stay there, and basically do whatever. Then my thinking was it very much could be a trap because with it being only 90 days, it could easily be something. Because especially when it says you don't have to know their laws and stuff like that, they could easily just be like, "Oh, you broke one of our laws. Now you're being forced conscripted into our fucking military."
Yeah, it does seem like a ploy to get troops for the fucking Ukraine war, doesn't it?
Or they just hate fucking wokeism.
Well, they hate that too, but still, you know.
I say go for it. Maybe after the night or in the 90 days or whatever, they have like a fast track to become citizenship or some shit.
Shit, I'll tell you to go to join in Millie's country.
I think if I were a single man, I might make the trip and take the chance. All the men are away at war, and have you seen their women?
Nice.
So, can you guys hear this? Please tell me you can. Hold on.
The chick's face is creeping me out.
Well, it takes one. This is how ridiculous this is. Okay, ready? In 2016, Canada legalized medical assistance in dying. So did California.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, it's
Very
quiet.
Okay, so in 2016, California and Canada, basically at the same time, passed a law which legalized medical assistance in dying, like government-assisted suicide, right?
Yeah.
Word number one.
And Canada and California have roughly the same population. Like the population of Canada is roughly equal to the population of California. Since that passed, in California, there's been something like 900 people who have been killed by the government, who have been medically assisted in suicide by the government.
Jesus.
Right? 900. How many do you think in Canada?
It's the
10,000.
leading cause of death in Canada.
Wasn't that like over 20,000 or something?
Over 20,000? That's a guess. Anybody else got a guess?
Man, I hope it's not over 20,000.
I'm gonna say
10.
probably 15,000 at least.
15,000? Anybody else? 10?
Yeah.
10, 15, 20,000? The correct answer is if you add all of those three numbers together, so 10 plus 15 is 25, plus another 20,000 is 45,000, right? You would still have to add another 5,000 people
Oh
to get
my
to the
God.
actual number of how many people Canada has killed.
See, I got it.
That's disgusting.
I heard somewhere it's the leading cause of death in Canada right now is the government.
Yep.
Well, they're pushing it on children. They're pushing it on mentally ill people. They're pushing it on homeless
Handicapped.
people. They're pushing it on vets with PTSD. They're pushing it on people who have disabilities. They're pushing it on people who have light depression. Like every reason besides the actual reason which they originally passed it for, which is like, oh, you have terminal cancer, which is basically what it's for, right? If you have like some crazy terminal cancer disease that's just going to be a fucking painful, agonizing death,
Yeah.
then it kind of makes sense. If it's, oh man, my cat died and now I'm sad, well, have you considered medical assistance in suicide?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, much better. Now I don't think about anything because I'm dead.
That's pretty fucked.
If they
Yeah, I
have
think it was
suicide
Germany or
moves,
something.
it's not quite that far yet.
I think Germany or somebody did create like a suicide chamber.
I think it was Sweden.
I think it was I think I read about that one.
I
That
think
like
they'd rather
plays
take
like
the
soothing
roller
music
coaster.
to you while you know what I mean. Like fuck, dude. Or
What if
the
it's just like-
suicide roller coaster. You guys remember that one?
Shitty elevator music.
I
Like
think
there
they'd
was
rather
a
take the
roller coaster that someone came up with that goes like really fucking high and then like super steep, so you go really fast, and then it does loop-de-loops of continually smaller loops, so that the G-force builds up to the point where you are going to die from the G-force.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. They never built it; it was just a concept, but still. Anyway, Canada's fucked. Oh, illegal immigration to the U.S. by year, by month by year. So it starts in 2012, where we're in the roughly 30 to 40,000 level. Peaks in like 2014, where we got above 60,000 for a couple of months. Got back up there like 2017, like the end of 2016, right? And then Trump got in office. And it's low, 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 kind of builds back up. Oh, wait. Sorry, Trump gets in office here. Excuse me. So this is when Trump gets in office. And then it drops down almost to nothing, right? Trump leaves office. And it goes fucking insane ever since. So 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 have all been the craziest years of immigration that this country's ever seen. Yeah, I mean, this is really telling. And these are the ones that we know about. These are the official accepted numbers that are being shown to us that are probably not true, that are probably minimized in some way or like, you know, made to look better than they are in some manner or form. You know how it works. It's never the truth. It's always a lie. It's always let's shade things to make it look better, you know, like that kind of shit. So, but that being said, it's so bad there's no shading this.
Yo, real quick, Daniel said Big Mike's song is on fucking TV right now while she's dancing. So that's fun.
Well, right now they're saying that under Biden that the immigration is down. Like they're using word semantics again. The illegal immigration is down because they freaking legalized it.
I guess if you look from like the peak right here, and then you compare it to right here, it's like, oh, immigration's down. See, like it was here, and now it's here. Are we actually live on Rumble right now?
Yeah.
Because it said that it wouldn't stream to Rumble, but I guess it is.
Happy mistake then.
Let me go to Rumble. Let me look at Rumble. I gotta look at Rumble. You're gonna make me sign in because I'm under a different browser, aren't you? You fucking son of a cocksucker.
I watched a little bit of the DNC speeches. That was Hillary Clinton and some other people. They just say the words, like nothing they're saying is actually true, or it's technically true.
They could technically suck these nuts.
They just say the thing that people want to hear, and most people are just in their bubble, and they're not going to do any research to realize what they're saying is actually false. As they were saying, oh, illegal immigration is down. Well, sure it is, because you legalized it. Now you gotta claim asylum.
Yeah, and they only count like so many a day. But they used to count all of them. So like after a certain amount, it's just a cutoff, and they quit counting, which is fucked.
Well, when they were passing laws through, like, hey, Republicans, the Democrats are coming up with a immigration plan. Shouldn't you sign it? Oh, the Republicans voted against the Democrat immigration plan. That means that the Republicans don't care about immigration. But then you look at the fucking actual plan and what it was going to do and the reason that people voted against it. Well, first of all, part of the reason they voted against it was because it wasn't just an immigration plan. It was like, here's a 7,000-page omnibus bill that spends $17 trillion over the next 5 years on everybody's little pet project and thing, and everybody gets some money, and everybody gets a handout. That way everybody signs it, right? Everybody's good, right? Well, no, not everyone's good because we're spending money. We're leaking money like a fucking a sieve, you know? Like you're straining your pasta that you shouldn't be eating. That's the fucking American economic system and government right now. There's leaking water everywhere.
Don't touch my pasta.
Stop eating pasta.
I switched to green beans.
Do zucchini, and then you run it through the little fucking the thing that makes zucchini strings.
Yeah, I got one.
And then you can eat zucchini pasta. It's actually pretty good.
Yep. You can also do it with carrots and a bunch of other shit.
See, you already know.
Yeah, I have one.
Spaghetti squash is the shit.
Yeah, I eat the fuck out of spaghetti squash. We have a bunch going right now.
Never had spaghetti squash.
It's pretty much like a noodle.
Spaghetti squash is the best.
It is good.
I'm a big fan.
It's the ultimate cheat.
The UK is turning into a police state. UK to release criminals from jails to make room for anti-immigration protesters and mean tweeters. Operation Early Dawn is the name of it. It's almost like Red Dawn.
Yeah, I was going to say it's actually Operation Red Dawn.
Here we have the Democrat strategy to win. Plan A, this guy. Plan B is the cackler, the cackling hooker. Plan C is the hockey stick. What do you guys think they're going to go with? I mean, they already tried Plan A, so that's out.
All of them are currently in effect.
Plan B and C are going to be the two things together.
I guess they're not. It's not too late to try Plan A again.
Yeah, we can get a different picture.
Just a different Plan A. First degree mean tweet. Dude, the UK is being fucking retarded with all their freedom of speech shit. Because they know that one group of people that are actually causing the problems in the country are the very people that they've let into the country. They've lied to their own people into saying, like, oh, they're just as, British as you and everything's going to be fine. Mm-hmm. Now that things aren't fine, the people who were saying, hey, you told us we're going to be fine and they're not, they're like, well, we have to stop you and put you in prison because we know that when we go after you people, nothing happens. We arrest you, you peacefully go with us, we take you to jail, no one says anything anymore, and now we don't have to deal with the riots. But if we go after anybody on the other side, if we go after anybody, one single person on the other side, the whole other, that whole side's going to freak the fuck out, and we're going to lose. So the only thing we can hope to do is to put out a million tiny little fires before they get too big on the side that we can actually put out fires on, and then hope and pray with a bunch of appeasement and nice words that the other side isn't going to get too pissed and get together and actually do something to fucking burn down the country, which they're probably going to do eventually anyway.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Penis.
Yeah, I was saying, so if a civil war was to break out, who do you think they'll start first? Whatever country in Europe or us?
They're already doing it over in fucking Europe.
Yeah.
Or get semi, but that isn't blown fully.
I think ours would be more noticeable just because we all have pew-pews.
White women for Harris. Fuck Mark Hamill.
Yeah, no shit. It makes me hate Star Wars.
You already heard the latest thing that happened right now, right?
And fuck Stephen King. And fuck Harry Sesson. I don't know what this dude said, but fuck him too, apparently.
Fuck Shark Tank because of that guy.
Cuban's been a douchebag for decades. He's been anti-Trump for about 5 or 6 years now.
Why doesn't he run for president? If he's so good, and he's a billionaire too, right? He's got all kinds of money. Successful businessman, TV personality, well-known, outspoken, politically active. Why doesn't he run for president if things are so bad?
Because he knows the same thing would happen to him if he got into office.
All the funny thing is most of those types don't want to run. They're just chilling.
Yeah, they just want to pull the puppet strings as it is.
I was really hoping my friend would be here for this one. Insanity is when illegal refugees get $3,874 a month in federal assistance while Social Security checks average $1,200. $3,800 a month.
I don't know if you saw that one the other day. It was a dude talking about going through a grocery line, and the woman in front of him was illegal with $15,000 on a food stamp card and $3,000 cash assistance on it.
I'd steal that card, man. Fuck that guy. Go on a spending spree. We'll go to Walmart.
And
yeah, what's he gonna do? Turn me into the police?
There was also a lady recently talking about selling her food truck, and one of the people that showed up wasn't illegal, saying he didn't have any money in his bank account, didn't have any proof of citizenship at all. But yet, he had a documentation that the U.S. government was going to give him money to buy the food truck.
Damn.
Where's my U.S. government food truck money?
Well, hop around the border and come back.
Hola, me llamo es Juan. Mucho gusto.
I mean, you probably fit on to just say you're Spaniard.
Sí. Estoy de España.
You guys remember that video that came out a while back of those people? They went and used their food stamp money and bought a whole bunch of water, and then poured it all out and turned the bottles in for money.
That was
I've
in
heard about
Washington, because in Washington, you get 10 cents per bottle.
Yeah.
So they get the 30 pack or like the 50 pack of fucking water bottles. That's $5, man. The water only costs like $10, maybe, $8 for the thing. You get $5 back. It's basically turning your food stamp money into money.
It was a lot of meth heads and other.
I've heard
drugs
they use their food stamp money to just buy random food and then go outside and try and sell it.
One time I was waiting on this table, and they were there for hours, and they, there was probably a dozen of them, and they rang up a sizable bill. We're talking hundreds of dollars, $400 or $500 on their tab that they had with me, which under normal circumstances, if you had, you have a $500 tab, you're basically expecting $100 tip, right? That's 20%. If you don't get $100 tip, you get like 80. It's like, okay, that's fine. You get like 60, it starts being like, dude, fuck you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, these people were like, I dropped off the bill because it's closing time and you can't order anything else. And they sit there, like 12 of them, passing around this tab, looking at it, studying it, looking at it again, looking at it some more. I go over and check on them. No, we're not ready yet. Looking at it some more. And finally they call me over. And they go, do y'all take food stamps?
I was about
And
to
I
say
go-
one. I remember you telling the story.
I
too.
go,
I was going to ask
no.
that question.
We do not take food stamps. I'm sorry. And she goes, for real? And I go, yes, for real. We do not take food stamps. I'm sorry. So then they came out. It was like $495.28 was the tab. And they came up with $495.28 and left it on the table. Zero tip. After all the bullshit, after how many hours that they were there, after ringing in that many things, after me running back and forth to that table, oh man, I'm so fucking livid. And it's those kind of people who are getting the $1,500 a month and living on that, and that's their fucking money because they've got their Social Security disability because they got fucking gout or something, and they figured out how to game the system into giving them money so they never have to work again. But the problem is, in 2024, that $1,500 a month ain't going so far, is it? A little hard to live on $1,500 a month when rent is $1,500 a month,
Yep. Well, I was going to say the catch-22 is on that is some of those ones actually getting screwed over now because the legal people taking their money now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's a tough pill to sell because like eventually you got to cut people off. You can't just give out free money forever for people who don't deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
For people who never paid into a system, for people who gamed a system to get what they are getting. And then you throw in illegal immigrants who are in this country now who are getting that money. Like what happens to them when they don't get that money anymore? They don't have any ties to this country. They don't have any like reason to be part of the community. They were just getting a free handout and living off the fat of the land.
Mm-hmm.
And when that fat runs out, they're going to start raping and pillaging and taking and whatever it is that they got to do, man. Lock up your wife, lock up your kids.
Hide your girlfriend, hide your wife.
They raping everybody tonight.
It's
Carry
true.
more than a 620, whatever the fuck. Get your dagger with 3 mags.
God damn it, Rambo.
Oh, well, speaking of which, yeah, I was listening to a podcast. They were talking about your place up in Aurora. Damn, that shit's bad.
Wait, you guys aren't carrying 4 mags right now?
If 5
Okay,
shots
3.
and my car can't get me out of it, I wasn't getting out of it.
Yes, you were, Honda. Yes, you fucking were.
Well,
Okay, like you're always talking about like, oh, there's a big group of people and you need mags because what do you think they are? Zombies? They're just gonna keep running at you? Or like every time it ever happens ever in the history of guns ever in crowds ever period ever as soon as gunshots start going off, what happens to the people? What happens to the crowd?
They run you over and stomp you to death.
Wrong.
All right, how about
100%
this?
wrong.
Just carry your dagger and that's
10,000% wrong.
15
They
rounds.
all go running in every direction, like a Chinese fire drill.
Yeah, then you take the rest of them out. Good to go.
5 shots is fine. I don't care what you fucking say.
Oh my god! When you're
I
getting
was gonna say it's always
raped,
good to
it's
carry
not
a
my
spare.
5 shots is 100% fine. There's nothing that 5 shots is going to get me out of. That 10 shots, I would have been like, oh, thank God I had 10 shots because I was in like this fucking Nakatomi Tower, bro. And we were at this Christmas party for my wife. And like these fucking terrorists came in with fucking Styrogs and shit, bro. But thankfully I had my fucking extra magazines with me and my training. Like, dude, what fucking universe are you guys living in?
I'm living in a universe where I'm carrying at minimum 2 mags on me all the time.
I would have said you at least need a spare mag, and I'm a big fan into the whole certain situation, all the other stuff, and what you want to call it, tactical shooting, whatever, all that shit. Yeah,
The reason you need a spare magazine isn't so that if you run out of ammo out of your first magazine, that you've got a second magazine.
It's for malfunction.
It's for a malfunction, yes. And if you're carrying a revolver,
you're fucked.
There's no malfunction.
Revolvers do malfunction. I had one that did that to me.
Okay, well, by that fucking defense, then why would cops not just carry fucking revolvers?
Because they need 17 shots to hit a person once. Dude, you saw the acorn drill. How many shots did the fucking cop shoot at that car and he never even hit the guy?
Yeah, and then what happens when the acorn drill is done by somebody competent who's getting shot at?
I'll tell you what. If ever I die because I'm carrying a 5-round revolver,
your last
instead of a 17-round fucking
like,
semi-automatic gun with a spare magazine or 3, I will apologize to you.
You'll be dead, bro.
There we go. So that's what I'm going to apologize.
Well, yeah, my job, I have 3 mags altogether, but of course they're 10-rounders.
Oh my god,
is what it is.
It's fucking California.
Might as well just carry a fucking revolver.
You might as well just carry a fucking slingshot.
Here's the funny part. The people who work in my job who don't own their own guns do carry a revolver.
Well, they always say the best
So it's just a
military pistol is the one that you're willing to carry.
Oh, if it's a revolver, then it's like you shoot them and it scratches their back. Basically, it doesn't even hurt them.
Nobody said that.
Oh, when I start shooting my revolver, and there's a group of people, they're all going to be like, "Oh, he's just got a revolver, so wait till he shoots his 5 shots and then get him."
Oh, he had them elusive 6-shot revolvers.
Or 7.
Ooh,
or 8.
I got a 7.
Or 9. Or 10.
So elusive.
There are
Here's
10
the deal. If
revolvers.
you had to bug out 10 miles and go home, would you rather have A revolver, or B, your dagger with an extra mag?
That's different.
It's not. It's
100%
your EDC,
different.
bro.
That is 10,000 million. That is the opposite side of the universe different.
Oh my god. You carry one pistol, it does both roles.
I'll say this. The reason why even have that much mag or another ammo is, remember, if you get into an actual gunfight, you're going to be missing.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm
matter
sorry. If
how
you're
good
under
you are,
fucking
that does
pressure,
happen.
you're not going to be sinking fucking headshots, dude.
Okay, if we're talking bug out time when like shit has hit the fan and things are getting bad, and I got to make it fucking 30 miles across town. Yeah, I'm not carrying a 5-shot revolver.
Yeah, but you do every day. Like, that's what I'm saying, is you're not ready for that.
You think it's just gonna go to work one day, and then at the beginning of my shift everything's fine, and at the end of my shift it's the end of the world?
Yeah.
I literally wrote a
I'm not
20
even
chapter
saying
book
that.
this week about that Honda.
Okay, I'm not even saying that because I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example on the was it like was it Glenn Noor did like a review of I guess one of his fans, right? He's like he kind of thanked him because it kind of saved his life. Pretty much what the guy was, he was like a jewelry dude. He was doing some business, whatever, with some guy and all this other stuff, and he told him to meet him at a particular spot. That was the first mistake there. Got into it with like a gunfight with him and another guy, his partner that was with him. Did having a gun jam problem, and he was lucky enough to even have an extra bag and ammo when he got into that whole confrontation, or he would have died.
Wouldn't have happened if he had a revolver.
Most people are just stacking onesie twosies. It's like 3 or 4 dudes.
Mm-hmm.
It's at minimum 3 to 4. It's more like 7 to 8 now.
Yeah, we have a group of Mexicans, and they're illegal as fuck because I just started seeing them. They walk around 6 to 8 guys all the time, just all the way up and down town, fucking Walmart, everything. 6 to 8 guys, dude, with a revolver. You're fucked.
Oh.
Even if just 2 or 3 of them have a fucking pocket knife, you're fucked. That's my 2 cents. I'll drop the topic.
I still think when the first shot goes off, they scatter like cockroaches when you turn the light on. But nobody's going to stand around.
That ain't always the case.
Like Thomas said, it's like he's only got 5 more shots. As soon as he's done shooting, rush him. When the first shot goes off, they run.
Not if people are desperate enough.
Yeah.
Well, that's also a different situation. That's not going to happen, like Honda said. In 6 hours, it's not going to go from everything's normal to apocalypse. It's going to take a couple of days for people to get really in that pocket.
Well, I ain't talking about apocalypse.
I don't know. Have you seen some people that haven't eaten like 6 hours sometimes, dude? Those people are fucking nuts.
Yeah, look at Ohio. He'll fuck you up.
Well, I was gonna say you can be in a rob or whatever situation. I'm like, still, I'd rather have more ammo than not. It should do happen.
I think it was one of my the first instructor I ever took a pistol class with says if you can go through an entire mag of ammo, you might as well be John Wick.
We're not living in the same times that we once were, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a sec, boys.
Is your boy going in? Is your boy your buddy hopping in? Hope so. That'd be cool.
If that's the case, I can't dogpile on him or the guy's going to quit.
Okay. Would you rather your wife have a 5-shot revolver in a shit hits the fan self-defense case, or would you rather she have a modern-day pistol? Okay, now, why would you give yourself anything less than what you feel comfortable with your wife having? Because you're so fucking good? No. Just being overconfident in your abilities.
Well, even most people who carry revolvers will carry a couple speed loaders with them, too.
Yep, that's what I did when I first started doing this job.
Jesus Christ.
I know, I'm a tool, man. I'm old and I don't know how to use this stuff.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello, everyone who knows what they're doing.
I recognize that voice.
That's a sexy man on that voice. Now tell us about your liberal agenda.
What do you think about this, Mr. Yeti?
Well, I'm so excited.
Oh, boy.
Well, I'm missing, obviously, Kamala's speech is going on like right now, and I'm missing.
Oh, you're not missing much. She's retarded.
What a sad day. What a sad day for me.
Do you think Kamala's drunk a lot of the time?
I think most of the time, probably. Not like drunk, but definitely like that high, this is kind of where I level at. Yeah.
Yeah, because like you've seen the speeches of her like slurring her, like Biden, like she just doesn't make sense. And then
that's after she's done like those are when she's done with like 40 speeches in a row, and she's like way super over the edge at that point.
I don't think she's ever done 40 speeches in a row.
Yeah, no, probably not. But you got to figure, like, if she has one drink in between every single time she's got to address somebody, that's a lot of drinks in a day.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah, I can speak from experience.
What do you think about illegal immigrants, refugees, whatever you want to call them, coming into this country and getting $3,874 a month in federal assistance while Social Security checks average $1,200 a month?
Jeez, that's a crazy stat right there for you. What do I think about it? What do you guys think about it?
Well, shit, veterans don't even get that much money.
Well, I mean,
Not
if
even
you're on
broke.
Social Security, presumably you have worked for years in this country and paid taxes and paid money into Social Security, and now you're at an age or at a point in life where you're either disabled or old enough to retire, and you can receive a check from a fund that you've paid in for years on, correct?
Yes.
Sure.
Versus the $3,874 a month is for refugees who, for reasons unknown, come over to this country because we let them, and then you go through the border and sign your name on a piece of paper and say that she'll be back in court in 3 years, and they give you $3,874 a month.
Okay. What?
Living
Really?
in the meantime. Yes, really.
How does that work? Wait, what?
Yes, really.
Okay, so you're obviously waiting a while to get across, right? Or are you talking about people that come across like
No. Yes. People who just come across.
Who come across illegally, like via Coyote, or who come across the border they were actually allowed in? Like, which kind of immigrant are we talking about?
So they're the kind who come into the port of entry and say, "Hi, I am from Honduras, and I'm escaping Honduras because I'm a refugee."
Copy that. Okay, so they get in, and then the government literally does it. It sets them up with all that
For 3 years, yes.
For 3 years. So those people are getting some sort of special privilege where it's like, okay, we want to give you this chance. You have a 3-year chance to come in. Okay, so now I see where your complaint is that, we have obviously veterans who worked hard that don't even get that little like benefit. That would infuriate me. That's terrible. That's a terrible
we
thing.
have all these people coming into the country, and we're incentivizing them with basically $150,000 over a 3-year period.
Okay. I was just making sure that we're not talking about the people that cross illegally and are like menaces to society, because those happen too. So,
well, how many of the people who cross illegally and would be menaces to society come through the port of entry? The answer is not zero.
no, sure. I mean, that makes sense.
You know, I mean, I'm sure the cocaine mules or whatever probably aren't going through the port of entry because they've got cocaine hidden up their butthole.
I'll tell you what, Oregon's got a plenty of cocaine, man. They just did a bunch of busts, and there's pounds and pounds going around in the middle of Oregon. It's nuts.
It's Oregon. What else they got going on?
What? We have everything in Oregon.
Yeah, Oregon's pretty sweet.
It's pretty fucking cool out here.
If it wasn't for all your stupid laws, it'd be really sweet. But it's just pretty sweet.
We have stupid laws here?
You got some gun laws that are pretty stupid, yeah.
What? Everybody has a gun here. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
but you still got weird laws, though.
No, okay. I don't know what they are. Like, they have like this thing where even felons get guns, so that's really weird. I'll give you that. That one's a weird one. Like, even if you are a felon, you can still get a gun in Oregon.
So they passed this rule where if you are an illegal immigrant, the Second Amendment applies to you, and you can buy a gun in a gun shop. And the thinking is that, well, with how bad things are getting in this country, the people who would want to be cops don't want to be cops because everyone's being, persecuted for, following the law and busting people for stuff, and then something bad happens, and now you're liable, and now you're in fucking prison for the rest of your life. I'd rather just work at McDonald's. Fuck that shit, right? So what do? You let a whole bunch of illegal people into the country who don't have jobs, and you say, you know what? You could be a cop. We can let you have a gun. We can give you a badge.
Yeah, lawyer. I mean, I can tell you that firsthand because that's going on in there. My job, even the cops tell you about it. They just like, it is what it is.
But the problem is, like, when you let people into the country who don't share the values, who don't have an idea of what the Constitution means, or the First or the Second, or any of the amendments mean, or the Bill of Rights, and all of that stuff, and you give them a gun and a badge and you say, go enforce this rule, there's no underlying principles by which the person operates that are in line with the Constitution. As in, you could tell them to go violate someone's rights and they would do it without question. And I think that's what they would want to do with these people, potentially, in the future. Not quite yet. But in a future that looks like what's good. Okay, here's a question for you, Mr. Yeti. Are you familiar?
Question for me.
Yes, yes, because you are the one who's got the different views, who's not always here, and I
question.
I like it.
Question. Okay, go ahead. I'm ready.
Are you aware of what's going on or what has been going on in the past decade or so in South Africa?
We're doing a huge no. I'm just gonna say no because South Africa I don't really know much about. I know there's like a crack in the middle of Africa, so eventually it's going to turn into 2 continents. I think that's pretty cool. That's something I'm aware of. I know there's a base in Djibouti that's pretty important for some reason. Other than those 2 things, I don't really know much about Africa.
So apartheid was this supposedly, it was actually pretty racist fucking implementation of policy in which the white population in South Africa had more rights and say as to what the government and things were going on inside of that country than the African population did. And so they ended this back in, I think it was the 1980s, something like that.
It was the early 90s.
Okay, yeah, early 90s when they ended apartheid.
94,
and slowly the pendulum has swung the other way, right? And it has swung so far the other way to the point now where there's families of people, they're called the Bora, who moved to South Africa roughly at the same time as the founding fathers came to the United States. So we're talking like 1780s, like early 1800s, 1600s, some of them, you know what I mean? Like they've been there for a really long time. These farms that they live on have been in their families since then. And the new policies are like, well, because they're white, this is not their land. So the government's going to take the land away from this family who's lived on this land for 300 years and give them some small amount of money that's way below the value of what it's worth, kick them off of the land, and then give it to indigenous people so that they can then own the farm. Right? Well, part of the problem with that is you're taking the people who know how to farm off of the farm and putting people onto the farm who don't know how to farm. So now the farm doesn't farm anymore. So now they're not producing the food that they used to. South Africa used to be the breadbasket of Africa. They used to feed Africa. Now they can't barely even feed themselves, right? Okay. That's problem number 1. Problem number 2, the government has basically sanctioned violence against the whites in South Africa, wherein if you get, like, your family gets attacked by a gang of people, the government basically doesn't do much about it, right? So they're tacitly encouraging these attacks to happen on people. And they're doing some of the most wicked things that you could possibly imagine to families. I could spell some of them out if you would like, but I'll spare you of the details. Just know that it's your wildest imagination of the most terrible thing that you could do to a family of people is what's happening on a regular basis to the families in South Africa. And there's zero outcry. There's zero international press. There's no refugees allowed from South Africa into this country from a place where they're actually being oppressed and murdered and killed for being Christian and white or whatever it is. Right. You know what I mean? Like there's just no talk about it at all. Isn't that kind of crazy?
It sounds really crazy.
I think the craziest part is that no one knows about it.
It's totally fucking random. I mean, yeah. Wow. I mean, I've been listening to the John Oliver and what he's talking about, like the stuff in what's it called, Hawaii, and how like those natives are being treated. And then, you know, obviously we have all kinds of territories. How do those play into why are we giving money to all these people that are coming from outside when we're not even taking care of the territories we already have. Like, that's an interesting thing to think.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It seems like the whole system is on the point of crumbling on so many different levels. It almost seems like a controlled demolition. You know, like if you were planning on taking down a country, how would you do it? Okay, first you attack the family, then you attack the dollar, then you attack this and that, and export the jobs and import a whole bunch of people who don't agree with the values and ramp up the fucking political violence. And, you know, like, what's the next step? You know? Like, we're pretty far down the fucking line right now.
Yeah, no, that makes sense too. Pretty crazy. What good points. So what about this Kamala and this guy, the Waltzy dude? He's a pretty like almost conservative, like family guy, going to the fair type, hanging out. You know what I mean? Like, he seems like a really happy-go-lucky kind of guy.
Well, I'll let you know, he was from Nebraska, which is where I'm from, and he had to go to the hospital to get horse cum pumped out of his stomach.
Ooh,
because it was quote-unquote a dare to drink a vial of horse cum. So
interesting. Okay.
So apparently
we're not claiming him.
he was some sort of professor, and as a professor, he would take trips with his students to China, and he took his honeymoon. They did their honeymoon in China, and his students have said multiple times that he was very amorous of the communist Chinese system of government and would proclaim this often. And he's got very communist-esque, socialist-adjacent policies that make a lot of people nervous about being the vice president and having someone who's basically like proclaimed his love for communism. That's kind of a thing.
As governor of Minnesota, he has enacted multiple gun controls. He has made the state of Minnesota now a sanctuary that you can take kids into to get gender transition surgeries.
What?
And a bunch of other craziness like that. Yeah, he's signed listen to law. He signed a law where you can have illegals get driver's licenses so they can vote.
And he was one of the worst, as far as I understand. I don't know this firsthand or anything, but from what I understand, he was one of the worst governors when it came to COVID policy and locking down his state and keeping it locked down and that kind of thing.
And when the riots were going on over George Floyd, he refused to give Minneapolis National Guard support, even when the mayor was calling for it.
So, yeah, there's some bad stuff. I don't really know much about him, to be honest, though, beyond that. He was not on my radar in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer signs law banning election recounts based on fraud allegations. What an odd thing to do. If you were in... Okay, so here's a presupposition that I believe is true, but tell me where I'm wrong. How many people voted for Trump? Like 40%, 30% of the fucking population, something like 80 million people voted for Trump, something like that, you know? So call that 29% of the population of the United States thinks that the 2020 election was kind of fishy. That anywhere from it was fishy to that shit was outright stolen. That's what the people believe. And if you were a government who was trying to reassure the people because your vote is correct and the way that you do your democracy is true, that your democracy is true and that the vote is correct, that you'd want to be as transparent as possible, right? You'd want to have transparency, you'd want to have accountability, you'd want to have the ability to recount, you'd want to have every fucking box checked so that when the people were like, hey, that was stolen, they could say, nah, we did a recount. Nah, we did signature verification. We did all the things that you said that we should do, and this is the count. But instead, what the Democrats seem to keep doing is passing laws and doing things that make it harder to keep the count accountable, that make it harder for the people to understand how the election works, that make it harder for them to challenge the results of any election that might be a little fishy. And if you were trying to reassure that 29% of the population, who, by the way, 29% of the population who does not think that the government is legitimate ends in really bad ways a lot of the time. So I think you'd want to avoid that, right? They're doing the exact opposite of keeping those people informed and easing their suspicions, as it were.
Right.
As evidenced by this. I mean, why else would Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer sign a law banning election recounts based on fraud allegations?
Well, it could also be the fact that there was a audit investigations going into her 2022 midterm win.
I mean, are we having problems with fraudulent fraud allegations going around, causing problems? Is that what's been going on?
Apparently, yeah. Apparently, that's what's going on.
Because I haven't seen that, and anytime that there have been any allegations, the courts just fucking strike their gavel and dismiss it. So it's not like they look into it anyway.
Do you guys feel like the Kamala team is making a little bit of progress, or because remember before the last show that I was on, I was kind of like, "There's no way the Trumpster doesn't win." I mean, there's just no way he doesn't win realistically, like from that point of view. But she seems to be from, and obviously I try to pay attention to both sides. I don't like just listening to Democrat. Like that's pretty stupid. I listen to both sides, and it just feels like there's kind of a push or a surge on her side that I'm wondering if it's concerning or not.
Yeah, that's because they're controlling the media to give you whatever
right
numbers they want.
So it's not like that for real. It's still pretty mellow. Then.
Dude, they have to pay people to come to their things.
I was listening to this thing earlier today. They were talking about the polls versus their own internal polls, and the polls that are public are like, oh, it's neck and neck. In fact, Kamala's up 0.5 point nationally, right? But then they've got their own internal polls where what they do in these polls is they heavily what's the word? Poll fucking Democrats. They don't poll the fucking Republicans as much.
Yeah.
So when they end up with the numbers, they're kind of skewed, and that's why 2016, Trump was behind 8 points in the polls but won. 2020. Biden was ahead by 5 points, but only ended up winning by 1. These polls are never what they are. The numbers are never. So when it shows when it shows Kamala Harris and Trump neck and neck, it really means Trump's probably up 4 points.
Copy. I was just checking what you guys' pulse was on the whole thing.
The problem is that you don't have to win by the margin of error. You have to win by the margin of cheating. Because there's ways that they cheat. There's ways that you can harvest votes. There's ways that you can send out, there was another thing that they did, right? I forget what state, what county, whatever it was. But they were looking at the voter rolls, if you know what that means. Like the people that they send out ballots to. And they were like, these voter rolls haven't been cleaned up in 20 fucking years. That means we're sending ballots to dead people, to people who moved to other states, to people who, you know what I mean? Like, people who shouldn't be getting ballots are getting ballots. And they just send them out. And they're like, okay, people who are complaining about that, if you want us to clean up the ballot, the voter rolls, we need $10 a name. So we've got 3.6 million people on this voter roll, which means in order for us to clean it up, we need $36 million, please. Otherwise, we're not going to do it. It's like, well, if you wanted to have a free and clear election where people believed in the results, wouldn't you want to have clean voter rolls to make sure that you're not sending out a bunch of fucking mail-in ballots to people that could possibly be signing them for people who aren't alive anymore or whatever the case is? And that's the joke. Like, yeah, my grandma's been dead for 20 years, but she's voted Democrat every time.
Mm-hmm.
And that shit happens, dude. So it's not the margin of error. It's the margin of how much can be cheated without people really noticing, you know? And the answer to that is not zero. It's some amount. There's some amount of cheating that's going on. Otherwise, why would they be covering it up? Why would they be making it harder for people to do recounts? You know, like that kind of thing. It doesn't make sense otherwise.
Right.
Okay.
Kamala Harris' stepdaughter is the poster girl for fucking weird and woke.
Weird and woke. All right.
Well, because so the Democrat talking point is that Republicans are weird, and I'm not even a Republican, dude. That's the funny thing. I'm just libertarian, but I happen to align more with the Republicans currently. But yeah,
You look
the
like
weird
a truck driver.
the weird people are calling everyone weird, and then being like, "We're not weird, you're weird." It's funny. It's like a junior high argument. All right, check this bitch out, dude. What the fuck? You don't even need to listen to this. Just watch this bitch's fucking tongue. Who talks like this? Wait for it. Whoa, what was that?
She's licking her lips all hard.
Whoa.
Damn.
She does it a couple
That tongue
times
is
too.
Thick too. Wow. Okay.
Like a billy goat.
I see what you're saying there. I can see why you want to get in on that. That's
So these are the
nothing wrong
people
with that.
at these events, whether it be DNC, RNC, etc. These are the ones you got to watch for because these are the people that are grooming for the future to be U.S. senators, U.S. congressmen, presidential nominees, etc. This one is a Michigan state senator right now. Her name is Mallory McMorrow. She was a political activist back in 2017. She was at the Women's March, and then around that same time, she was involved with a super PAC that's like supposed to be a nonprofit, who was supposed to be getting Democrats into power in 2018. That's who funded her entire campaign, and she won that state senator race by like 1,000 votes or so, give or take.
Is her tongue just that big? It has to come out of her mouth. She can't keep it in there.
She's like Gene Simmons like style. Fucking
Look at
badass.
She was the one that walked out yesterday with a giant 2025 playbook.
Yeah. Oh man, look at that. Okay,
Yeah, that's
all
not
right.
big top.
Who sticks their tongue out in the middle of a sentence? I've never seen this out of a human
No,
being.
that's a good point. Okay, so what is she reptilian?
Reptilian.
Yeah, I guess.
She's
I don't
totally
know.
she's reptilian. So like you see the old men that gotta keep wetting their lips on one side, like Larry King.
I mean, if
He's
she licks her
obviously a
eyeball and then
reptile.
snatches a fly out of the air.
Yeah, she's basically Jar Jar just hanging out in the body.
I'm thinking she's licking her lips like LL Cool J and shit.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck
Awesome.
that is, but
She's definitely fancy there. That was
But you
that
want
was
to try it
fancy.
out, right?
Hell yeah! I'd take that for 2 rides, one for the front and one for the back. Get out of here.
if everything is so great now, why are they promising to fix everything on day one?
Because it's
No, who's making that? Nobody's making that promise. Come on.
Vote me into office. I'm Kamala Harris, and I will fix these
Oh.
problems.
even though I've been in the administration for 3.5 years, has been fucking them up.
I've been in power for the past 3.5 years as vice president and for the past 20 years as a senator or whatever it's been. But if you just vote for me again, now I'll fix it. That's the point. I don't know about day one, but come on. Oh my God. Okay, so this is who? Chuck Schumer? Wait, Jamie Raskin.
Yeah.
Jamie Raskin is reading off the teleprompter when the teleprompter malfunctions.
And then find out he's retarded.
Donald Trump that the president's job under Article 2 of the Constitution.
Someone should have told Jamie Raskin.
Maybe you should
Actually,
memorize
read
a
the
couple
fucking
things.
Constitution.
And again, this just goes to show that most of these people are not themselves intelligent, do not have themselves within them the arguments to make, don't have the information. What they are is good at reading teleprompters, and maybe not even good at it. They're just adequate at reading teleprompters and putting forth a certain image of what leadership looks like or whatever while they read the teleprompter. Like, that's what a good politician is. It's not someone who tells the truth. It's not someone who does what they say they're going to do. It's a sociopath, psychopath, narcissist who's willing to lie to the most people the hardest. That's what a good fucking politician is in America in 2024.
Yes.
There are also
Which-
a lot of midwits.
Right. I mean, you don't have to be fucking smart to read a fucking teleprompter. In fact, the people in power would probably prefer that you not be very smart, so you're more easily controllable, right?
Exactly. It's just like when you go back to ancient Rome, they kept a lot of those people illiterate for that reason, so they could just tell them what the fuck the deal was.
So, if you haven't been paying attention, did you see that old Daddy Biden basically just told the military to be prepared for nuclear war with Russia, China, and North Korea?
Good Lord, he's going senile. What a weirdo.
Well, that was from March, and now they're just talking about it now. But that is true. That the government is preparing for nuclear war right now. That's great,
isn't it? Christmas is going to be lit when we're looking at lights.
So here's Joe Biden claiming that guns are the #1 cause of death of children in the United States today. And I don't think that's true. I think more kids die of cancer.
So they got that poll stat from Moms Demand Action, who did a poll where they included 18 and 19-year-old voting age adults as children.
In the hood.
Yeah, so if you take a bunch of 19-year-old gang members from Chicago who died last year, it pumps up those numbers a little bit. And it's like, oh, the school children are being murdered by guns. Yeah, not exactly. But 1,300 gun deaths of children, including 18 and 19-year-olds. Abortion deaths, 1,026,000. That's a lot of abortion.
It's just a little bit of abortion.
We had at least 24 the DNC itself right now.
Aurora Police, Colorado agencies create gang violence task force because things are so bad in Colorado now that we need gang violence task forces.
You guys didn't already have a gang violence task force?
I don't know.
We've had one here in this state for 15 years at least, dude. And it gets shit done. That's why we have such low crime rates in Ohio.
Did you hear about all the gun shops getting robbed in Colorado and the fucking apartment complex in Aurora that got taken over by a Venezuelan gang?
Yeah, that was the one I wanted to bring up on.
No.
Yeah, there's an apartment complex that a bunch of fucking gang members moved into, and then the building got condemned because of whatever reason, and everyone had to leave, but they didn't leave, and now they just took it over. And at the same time, perhaps related, perhaps not, unrelated, unrelated or related, there's also been in the past 2 months 10 different gun stores in Colorado that have been robbed and taken hundreds of guns. So that's fun. But don't worry, if we pass laws that ban guns, then those criminals will turn them in. Right?
Mm-hmm. You're right.
Because that's how that works.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm saying is be careful on this since you said they're that close from y'all.
Oh, did you guys hear the Acolyte has been canceled? Turns out people don't want to watch Star Wars movies about lesbian women of color Jedi making fucking lesbian babies or whatever the fuck they did. I don't know. I didn't watch that show.
Haircuts with lightsabers?
I'm not sure. I didn't watch it.
Well,
did you guys watch that?
The story.
I just saw that clip of the chick giving herself a haircut with a lightsaber. I thought that was kind of funny.
The story is really horrible.
Did you watch it, Eddie?
No, I started it. I couldn't get past episode 2. Seriously, I watched the first one. I struggled through it, and the second one, I was like, no, not my style. This is for children. I'm good.
Apparently, the first 2 episodes got really, really high viewership, and by episode 3, it dropped off a cliff. So you're not the only one. Diners tear into Kamala Harris campaign for kicking them out of Pittsburgh restaurant to bus in their own crowd for a campaign stunt. So apparently there were people just sitting in a restaurant eating dinner. And then Kamala Harris and her buses show up and they're like, all right, everybody, you got to leave. And they had a bunch of I don't know if they're paid actors or if they're just Democrat whoever's who were going to be nice to Kamala, sit down and pretend to just be normal customers sitting at the tables so Kamala can come by and be like, oh, or however she sounds. I'm not sure if that's what her laugh sounds like.
Yeah, it was a Craigslist paid gig for $25 an hour or something like that.
So they're paying these people $25 an hour to sit at a fucking restaurant booth and fucking talk to Kamala Harris and be nice.
No.
I think that's kind of funny. Meanwhile, did you see Trump did an interview with Theo Von?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did like a hour-long interview with Theo Von. Just got dropped.
YouTube kid or wrong about that?
It got dropped like 3 hours ago. It's already got 10 million views or some shit.
I gotta see that one.
Oh my god. How is this not a South Park episode?
Who
Dude,
is the guy in
South
the
Park is
wheelchair?
going to be so lit this season.
All right, go for this shit.
In 2008, we met while working on the Obama-Biden campaign.
Is that what he said?
Supposedly.
And she put shit in my ass.
I mean, she's pretty good looking for a fucking wheelchair mumbler. Maybe he's rich.
Why you look like that? Who's that other dude that was one on about the universe? He was in a wheelchair. You look like a younger version of him.
Hawking.
Hawking, yeah. You look like a younger version of Hawking. Ain't off.
Here we have a chart of testicular injuries in women's sports. From 1980 to the year 2020, we had a resounding 0 injuries of particular testicular values.
Testicular cancer.
However, since 2020, we've had a sharp rise in testicular injuries in women's sports.
Man, these women got some balls.
They really do.
Unburdened by the past, are we?
That's what.
Damn, she went down. When is this picture from? Was this from like
probably when she became a senator in roughly like 2018, give or take?
Look at how thick her throat got. That's how much dick she was sucking.
She used to be pretty good looking. Look at those eyes, man. I like those looking up at me.
Yeah. Look at her throat. That's what happened.
She's just got like all the HPV that exists in her throat.
It's just been fucking stretched out that much.
I mean, that's the term, the 1,000 cock stare.
1,000 cock stare.
That was a good one.
Those pictures don't look like they can both be her. That's hilarious.
The 1,000 cock stare.
Jesus.
That's the title for the next chat.
For
The thing
real.
is, too, though, that first picture was probably her getting like super dolled up, makeup and everything like that for that picture.
She looks like she's
as a portrait or whatever, because that's usually what they do when senators become senators and stuff like that. Versus the other one is probably just her every day without makeup on.
like drunk a little bit,
Yeah,
maybe.
exactly. Oh, she looks fucking high as hell in that.
Why can't we be drunk and high? I just don't understand. Come on, let her be drunk and high. Just because she's a boss, it doesn't matter. Come on.
I mean,
Let her
if
be
she
drunken.
if she does a good job, like she's better drunk, like drunken boxer style, you know, you're better fighter when you had two in you. Then go have two. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
In her case, that would be cock.
November is coming. It's a fucking stupid looking dragon. Fail.
Yeah, it looks like a really retarded beast, not a dragon.
Gay dragon. Chris Rock getting slapped by Will Smith had longer news cycle than Donald Trump getting shot by a sniper.
That's true, dude.
They're going to be talking about Chris Rock forever. Like, that's, I mean, come on.
It's true, though.
He got shot. And
Like, ex-president running for president currently gets shot in the face, basically, misses by a centimeter that would have killed him. Let's move on to the other news. But Chris Rock getting slapped by Will Smith.
black on black crime. Sorry, Leo.
Do you know who this is? Harry Sesson?
What is he up to? What's he doing?
He is
What's Sesson doing?
He's a 21-year-old Democratic National Convention shill. Like, he gets paid by the Democrats to be like, oh, Biden's awesome, and here's why. Let me go on Twitter and say a bunch of things. He just looks like a smug little fuck. Yeah, this guy.
A little weirdo.
He looks smug as fuck.
Good job.
He's fucking loaded. Wouldn't you
Well,
look
they
like
had to
that
get the new
too at
David
his age?
Hogg, you know.
He's worth $6 million
Yeah, he looks happy. He looks happy.
for being a shill for the Democrats. He's made $6 million by the age of 21.
I don't think he's looking at it like that from that angle, sir. I think he's looking at it like, look at what a great guy I am. I'm a piece of shit because I made a bunch of money and didn't do anything for it. Like that's kind of cool. I would look like that too. If somebody just gave me money to say some random shit about anything. Like I'll fucking wear tampons for dudes. Like it's fine. Like if that's what we need to do.
Are you gonna wear a
heavy
skirt
flow?
that says?
What if you had to just like lie about things that matter to you and like
I'll
say
wear
the
a
opposite
kilt.
views?
I'll wear a kilt for sure. I'll pretend like I'm Scottish for you if that's what you want. I'll
And then-
dread my hair and
then
I'll wear a
places
kilt.
and people fucking hate you because of the views that
Right.
you've
I'll start
espoused.
talking to you like this, then you'll never know. I'll just be like, hey, I came from the old country. You got a problem then? You want to take it up? That's fantastic.
I'm Connor McLeod with the Clan McLeod.
Right? Yeah, I'll do that all day for you.
I've been alive for 1,000 years. I cannot die.
If you expect me to do it longer than 10 minutes, though, I expect to get paid. Like, that's just the bottom line.
Only if you bend over in the kilt there, lad.
So we have.
Well, that's fine. I'll give you the goat. I'm gonna kick you in your ass a couple times.
As long as I'm getting paid.
Yeah. God, you guys are gay. And then I'm just gonna kick the shit out of you.
So we have the legacy media's election interference coverage of the two candidates. Of all of the legacy media's coverage of Kamala Harris, 84% of it's been positive, while only 16% has been negative. And of all of the coverage of Donald Trump, 89% has been negative, while only 11% could be considered positive. I mean, maybe not negative. I'm not sure. But it definitely shows a bias. You would think if it was a, true representation of the American people that there would be, fair amount of positive and negative on both sides. But when it's this one-sided, almost seems like they are being paid like Harry Sesson to say things that they may or may not believe.
So funny. Oh, man.
All right, this is kind of cool. Maybe not for these people, though. So these dudes and chicks or whoever this is, group of people that you can see right about here. You see these people right here?
Oh, yeah. They're just hanging out.
While the volcano goes off.
They're ready for a good time.
And they're like, fuck.
Right?
Look at them. They're like, climb down. Hurry.
Oh, shit.
That's terrifying.
They're moving pretty good without dying, I'm sure.
Yeah, they're moving pretty good. I think the wind's blowing just the right direction for
They're
them.
moving pretty good without dying. That's the important part. Like
if the wind was blowing the other direction, they'd all be dead.
We probably should try not to die. That's
good job, guys.
That's important. Holy, okay. Now you're talking my style. What's going on with that?
I think this is too big. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
no too big, but she needs a better bike seat. I mean, I'm obviously a bike guy, so just think I could fit her into a seat that will fit that ass. Like, no, I was talking about the bike.
Dude, if she reverse cowgirls on you, all your internal organs are fucked.
Yeah, I don't want to touch that. I'm just saying I could set her up on a nice seat. Everybody calm down.
Not now.
Like,
yeah,
God
bro.
damn, bro.
They need,
it's like I'm all natural. Bullshit.
You guys just gave me a great idea. Let's take 2 seats like that and let's put them together at a little ridge. Because she needs one for each side. So like, let's do a dual seat combo pack where we put it out and there's like, you know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? You kind of get one to put it down.
Help for
all right, dude. There used to be this guy at Village Inn back in the day who would come in and he would get an ultimate skillet with pancakes and finish every little morsel, every little fucking spot of grease on the plate, right?
Yeah.
And he would sit there for about 30 minutes reading the paper, and he would call me back over and order a double burger with fries. And that was his lunch, breakfast / lunch.
That was his lunch.
He would just eat it all at one time. And this dude literally needed one chair for each ass cheek because one chair looked like a butt plug.
Yeah.
That's my story.
Damn.
That's my
Oh, I
story,
remember
and
that
was
guy.
taking a poop.
Didn't serve that guy together?
I'm sure we probably did at one point.
Oh, yeah. He was a big dude.
He was the big dude.
He's dead now.
There was that one chick who she used to come in and she had fat folds all over her body because she was so fat that her fat folds would fucking fold over and she couldn't reach behind her back to clean the fat folds. So the fat folds would get like fucking shit in them or something. So she would smell like shit from her fat folds that she couldn't clean from behind her back.
God, she was huge too.
And people would like, she'd sit down in the restaurant and people would get up and move to a different area because it smelled so bad.
Ugh. Why didn't you gift that bitch a pressure washer?
Yeah, I don't think that was allowed back then. It is now, I'm sure, but
That's good.
I saw this the other day. I thought it was kind of cool. Dog shit, very poor quality. Bullshit, not true. Horse shit, nonsense. Ape shit, rambunctiousness. Bat shit, insane. Chicken shit, coward. Rat shit, poor quality. No shit, obviously. Holy shit, mind-blowing / unbelievable. Hot shit, very good. Dip shit, total dumbass. Tough shit, take it or leave it. Jack shit, nothing. And the shit is perfection.
nice. I like it.
He certainly shows the diversity of the word.
Mm-hmm.
Castellating that beat. Yo, shit. Got
Is it dead? Sorry, I'm doing movie quotes. If anyone knows the movie, 10 points. Bro, look at this crab fucking escaping.
Shit.
I think that's, if I was going to buy a crab, that would be the one I bought.
It's alive?
Because you know it's fresh, bro. Look at this motherfucker.
How
He's
can
gonna go
it
fuck
still
all
be
the hot
alive?
crabs.
Doesn't make any sense. How can it still be alive?
Did you know it's fresh?
Do you think you get a discount since it's moving?
What's gross is that's just a giant bug. Just an ocean bug, but it's still a bug.
It's an like come on. What I guess, yeah, it's got an exoskeleton. They live in a different dimension, in my opinion, guys. I'm just gonna let you know right now. They live in a completely different dimension because they have this exoskeleton, so do bugs, and think about the way they fly, they maneuver, they move, they breathe. Like this guy's a fucking superhero of his species, obviously.
Yeah, but he's
the rest
still
of them are
related to the cockroach up the street, bro.
no, totally cool. And we can also eat those for protein, so that's great. And they're actually pretty clean animals. If you think about it, you can see them cleaning themselves. They're not
No, they're
flies.
body
That's for
feeders.
damn sure. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. We actually, have you seen humans? Have you seen what we eat?
We're
Like,
omnivore. Yeah, McDonald's is terrible for you.
yeah, we're basically bottom feeders. Let's be real.
I haven't eaten that in years.
Well, there you go. So you're not a bottom feeder. You've chosen to evolve. Congratulations. What happens when these guys start to evolve? Then we're fucked.
We got shotties. We good.
That's true, I guess, for now. Unless they have energy weapons of some sort.
Oh, shit. Then we're in trouble. If they come up with lightsabers, it's a bad day.
Yeah, right? Little crab with like a particle projection cannon.
Dude, this
hole through you.
This lab got a hold of a McDonald's quarter pounder, like uncooked, and decided to do lab tests on it to see how many strains of DNA they could find within it, as in how many different individual cows were inside of this one quarter pounder. What do you think the answer is?
A lot.
If it's anything like Whoppers, it's over 400.
Oh, it's got to be a lot.
Well, with McDonald's, the answer was 250 individual cows.
Oh, wow.
meat
That's not, okay.
that went inside of one quarter pounder. And they also had like 2 strains of rat. There was some human DNA. There was like a bunch of shit in there.
Oh, okay. That makes sense, I guess. Yeah. I like the 100%, what is it called? Mammoth meat. And then it's may contain 30% mastodon meat. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, those cans back then were fucking wild.
Mastodon.
Yeah, Mastodon. So I went to, I think they have one in Denver, and then I went to the one in Vegas, but it's like Omega Mart. And they sell all kinds of weird fucking shit. I can't wait to play this game. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. I I played a bunch of roulette while I was in Vegas, and I found an Aquarius. I found a Zodiac fucking roulette, and it was dope as fuck. But this looks like my cup of tea right here.
I think it's pretty much truly random. I don't know how you can get the rat to go to like a specific number or whatever.
This one probably not, but the ones that have red, blue, and green, you can train rats to do that.
That was a little piece of cheese in there.
That one was the best. Yeah, right. That one was the best one, I think.
Okay. 4 years ago, it was a lot better. I made a lot more money than I do now. Don Lemon, I know you feel that way, but the economy is actually better under Biden. So you didn't listen to the guy. You just told him that his individual experience is not true and that the economy is doing better. All right. Do you think the economy is doing better under Biden? I think it's pretty much a fucking fact that it's not. And the only ones who say that the economy is doing better are the Harry Sessons of the world being paid by the Democrat Party to fucking say that and lie. So that's all I had to say about that.
People that are doing better in this economy are the ones that don't have to work for it.
Yeah, the ones getting $3,800 a month.
Yep.
The lowest 10% and the top 10%, or top 1%. They're the ones doing better in this economy.
The rest of us equals fucked.
Kamala Harris says she smoked weed in college while listening to Tupac and Snoop Dogg. She graduated in 1986. Snoop Dogg's first album was in 1993. Tupac's first album was in 1991. Weird.
Maybe she was just held back a long time because she's retarded.
She had the time machine fucking radio, you know, so she could listen to future music.
Yep. Future.
This is from yesterday, not today. But here's Chicago.
If you were working at that Columbia right there, are you packing your 5-shot or are you packing your dagger?
I'm packing my 5-shot.
Jesus Christ.
Because 5 shots is enough.
Well, it's
how
also
many
Chicago
guns
gun
does cops
control,
got
so
on
that's
them?
probably what you can carry in that city.
I feel completely safe carrying around a 5-shot revolver. There aren't many people on this planet who I couldn't beat to death with it. I'll put it that way. There are some people who or like a group of people, but my thinking is by the time I shoot 5 shots, groups of people are not going to be groups anymore. They're going to be running because that's the way the groups work when bullets start flying. They don't just say, oh, he'll run out of it. They don't do the Zap Brannigan strategy of like send thugs at the guy with a fucking gun until he runs out of bullets and then we'll overtake him with our numbers.
Yeah,
That's
just send 10 million.
That's not how that shit works, dude. Ever. That's not how that shit's ever worked. Ever. In the history of ever.
I was gonna say you do understand where I'm coming from when I was saying you will miss in a gunfight.
Yeah, I disagree. There's a cop that carries like fucking 10 33 round mags now because he was carrying a 45 and he went through all 8 of his mags waiting on backup on a tweaker who had like fucking 4 guns in his car. He kept pulling them out and he shot the guy in the face like 4 fucking times.
Yeah, it was like 167 rounds that the dude carries.
Jesus.
Yeah, so just saying. What if it's one tweaked out guy? Probably don't give too much of a fucks about your revolver.
I'm just
Or it
saying.
could be like that one in the Florida highway where it was the dude was back with an AK pistol.
You got to be in basically a really good shot, and you have to be at least 10 feet away. I mean, anything if they're within 6 feet of you, and you think you're going to draw faster than they are going to attack, if they know what they're doing or they're tweaking out, you're going to be very off. Like you can close at 6 feet.
Yeah. 5 shots.
Pretty
quick.
Yeah, if you obviously, if you got like a little revolver and you just pop it out and you know how to quick shot, great. That's 1 in 1,000 easily. Like it's not something you're gonna like encounter on the street. Within 6 feet, a gun is pretty useless if the person wants to actually hurt you.
Yep. And you got to matter the fact of adrenaline rush and all the other stuff happen. That does
No,
happen. I mean,
you'd be definitely better off with a knife that you know where it is, or like I like to carry 3 knives, because then if somebody does try to close a distance, all you got to do is grapple, and then you know where your knives are, so you can find them, and then you can put incisions in them that they have never thought they could get. So that would be a lot better. A couple knives here and there where you can like maneuver, because every fight ends in close combat unless they know what they're doing. They have obviously planned it. Like, no. And even with a gun, like somebody's like, I got a gun. Cool. Pull it out and watch what happens. Like, no, I'm going to close that distance and I'm going to cut you and it's going to be bad. Like, no.
See, that's why I like the short snub nose revolver. Because, okay, short distance, you pull out your dagger, you pull out your Glock. You've given me a whole slide to grab onto. Now I control that weapon. I pull out my fucking little 5-shot. You got nothing that you can grab. You got nothing that you can control. It doesn't matter if you're 6 feet. It doesn't matter if you're 6 inches. And that gun is going to do more damage in a millisecond than a knife is.
I'm just saying, if you don't carry that, carry a speed loader.
5 shots, buddy. That's all I need. We're good. You aren't going to convince me otherwise. I don't care how much your fucking vaginas bleed and say, oh,
It's your decision for you and your family, so obviously you're not getting off of it. So,
What do you mean?
Hey, if you want to be Daniel Perry, that's fine, bro.
Oh shit! What happened to Zerati?
you done pissed him off.
Oh.
Oh.
His friend.
Now to more important news. Bennifer is breaking up. J-Lo has filed for divorce. Drama queen or just street trash?
A little bit of both.
I mean, we did see her getting on a bicycle a minute ago. Oh, here's more Chicago.
Yeah, right there. Guys behind you with your revolver equals you're fucked.
Yeah, but if you hear pop, 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 what happens to this crowd?
Well, one of them shoots back at your car if you're Daniel Perry.
Everyone runs in every direction is the answer.
And then you're caught in a stampede.
In which case, 15 rounds extra is not going to help you.
Oh, yeah, it's going to put a dent in them. It's going to give me a wall of human shield.
Okay, did you guys see this? Marion County defies CDC vaccine schedule, reports record-breaking decline in autism rates. So Marion County, California, there were some concerned parents back in around the year 2000, I think it was 2000.
Yeah, some person there.
Who were like, we don't like these increasing numbers of vaccines that you're making our children take. So we're going to limit it to the number of vaccines that we took when we were kids, which was like 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they took like the MMR, like the normal vaccines that people used to take. And the number of autism rates, like the autism rate in their community, dropped so low that the CDC is like scrambling to explain it. Because for years they're like, oh, the studies show that the autism doesn't have any correlation with the vaccines, and vaccines have been going up, and autism's been going up, but correlation's not causation, and blah 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 blah. Well, it turns out when a particular group of people decides not to take all the vaccines, that their kids don't have nearly the autism that the rest of the country does, and basically all the other factors are the same. It's not like you can point to another country and be like, well, the environmental factors in North Korea are actually different than North America because da 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 da. Like you can make an argument. Here, there's no argument. They got the same water supply. They're eating the same food. And other than the vaccines, they've got the same medicine. Right? So why is there such a record-breaking decline in autism rates? Unless there is actually causation.
Are you guys still getting vaccines? I'm not getting vaccines anymore. I'm done with that shit.
Did you get the COVID vaccine?
I got like I think 2, 3. I think I got 3 of them. It just was ridiculous. I can't get COVID anyway. I tried. Trust me, I tried. I really did. It just didn't affect me. I got swine flu, man. Get out of here. This shit ain't nothing. So I don't know.
I am what the vampires call a pureblood.
Oh, you haven't had a vaccine?
Not the COVID.
Yeah, I was against it, but what could you do? I had to work. I mean, I didn't have to work. I could have been one of those that got the $900 a week for doing nothing in their life. But you know what? I'm not that person. I needed to work, and I was required to get it because you couldn't work if you didn't have it. So I was kind of between a catch-22 and not. Also, on one family side, I have an elderly mother who is also anti-vax, so she didn't get it. So she was all about me not vaxxing because, again, she is very much a staunch Republican all the way. And then on the other side, I had basically like everybody who was like kind of Democrat, liberal, like vaccines are important. They know what they're doing. And I'm like, literally, there's no testing. There's no, like, we need years to make sure vaccine's actually okay before we know. And then this vaccine doesn't even operate like other vaccines. It's literally just adding something to your body that they hope will work. So I was pretty against it. But that being said, I had to take it because I wanted to continue to work and I didn't want to get the $900 a week for 2 reasons. One, my brain would have been numb and everything that was going on in my life at that time. I worked at a liquor store, which was a definitely required place to be open. And everybody just sat around and drank all the time. And it's like, bro, I drink enough on my own because I want to. I would have killed myself with $900 a week and unlimited booze. I would be dead. Like, no, it's like, I needed to work. I needed something to do. I needed to fill my mind. I get bored super easy. I had a great wife. We had fun, but we were able to exploit the system and go do stuff. So I chose to work during that time. And so I got 3 vaccines and I'm perfectly fine. I mean, I am a little retarded, but I mean, that's, probably from birth, realistically.
It would be interesting to see a study done before the lockdowns and during the lockdowns of the rate of alcoholism increasing.
Right.
Or depression, or heart disease, or suicide, or cancer, or... Yeah, there's a whole bunch of shit that... Oh, yeah, we're saving people from COVID, but we're condemning the children to mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Jesus, dude, we did so much fucking wrong. And I got laid off from my job when all that shit started.
See, if I would have gotten laid off, that would have been fine. I would have been fine with that.
So I go to the unemployment office and I file my paperwork. And they're like, sorry, Mr. Honda, you don't exist in our paperwork. Like, what do you mean? Oh, it turns out the company that I worked for filed my Social Security number 1 digit off. And I didn't know about it till the beginning of the pandemic when everyone got laid off.
That happened to me too. It sucks, bro.
And the fucking unemployment offices were closed. And you would call them and no one would answer. So it took 16 weeks from the time that I filed my fucking unemployment to the time that they gave me my first paycheck. 4 months, dude.
Damn.
I lived with 0 income for 4 months.
Wow, bro. That is a testament right there. Wow. Good job. 1, saving. 2, taking care of your family. I mean, just 3, making it through. That's impressive.
It fucked me over, bro. It really did.
Yeah. I was working 3 jobs to survive at the time, and one of them had to close down because it was a strip club. The other 2, one was a liquor store, and one was a pizza store. So delivery of food was obviously open, and then the liquor store was open because it's a state-run facility, and it was a requirement that people had booze. So I kept 2 of my jobs, and man, I made a lot of money during that time. Not quite $900 a week because that's ridiculous, but I did really well, and I had a really good time during that. And I was blessed to have both of those jobs just in the way there. So the fact that you made it through with not even unemployment and that just goes to show how much you save and like what kind of person you are. I just want to say that. Sorry.
Well, I mean, towards the end there, it was getting real uncomfortable because I was running out of money hard, and fucking they finally paid me, you know, and then they paid me back pay for all the weeks that they were supposed to pay me.
It's cool.
And I got like a $14,000 direct deposit.
Nice.
So I went from like the brokest I'd ever been to the most money I'd ever had in my bank account at one time, like overnight.
That's cool.
Like $6,000 came immediately out of the bank account to just pay off credit cards and everything else that I had that I was behind on, you know?
Yeah.
But then I had like $8,000 left over. I was Amazon shopping, bro. I was doing all kinds of shit. Anyway. Well, hey, my voice is starting to go. So I think it might be time to start winding this shit down. If you guys don't mind.
Fair enough.
I hear no objections. So in that case, thank you all for being here and for watching the Gay Frog Chat. Oh, wait, this is 2A Taco Tuesday with Honda and friends, where we talk about the DNC and a whole lot of Kamala Harris tonight. Not usually my subject, but there's the low-hanging fruit.
You guys doing this again next week on Sunday? Is that your thing? Is it your gig?
Sunday? Yeah, Sunday, Tuesday.
Yeah,
not every Sunday, not every Tuesday, but most of them.
Yeah, I work early on Sunday, so I could actually maybe be part of it if I'm still welcome. I know I'm the anti here.
No, you're not.
You're welcome.
In fact, I was going to ask. So, what were you as at the strip club? Was you the DJ or the bartender?
Ooh, tell him your DJ name.
I'm DJ Midlife. MC Zarati. I started as a chef, and then I worked my way up to DJ, and then of course I bartended as well. But security, whatever you need me to do at a strip club, I can do it.
DJ Midlife.
So they had good food there,
huh? When I was chefing, yes, we had great food. I came into a disaster area, and I cleaned the kitchen, got it going, started doing like $5 steaks on one day, Taco Tuesdays for certain, just various things. I brought in all fresh products. I did fresh everything, made fresh soups every day. The dancers, I hooked them up, man. I'd break them French toast in the middle of the night if they wanted. They loved me, and I did great there. Good crowd, good people. When I first started, that place was popping, and we had security, we had owners that cared, we had DJs, everybody was getting paid, 2 bartenders on a Friday, Saturday night. We had 17, 18 girls a night in a really small club, so it was pretty tight. And then the owner died, and so then it kind of passed hands to attorneys. Bottom line is it went from being super awesome, and then I rotated to DJ, which I had a great time doing. But then it just went to everybody was just selfish, and now it's just kind of a hole in the wall. It's pretty sad actually, but it's it is what it is. That place was dynamite when I first started, but it just life takes its toll. 2020 obviously pretty much put it in the dirt. So coming back from that is hard.
Word. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. We'll see you guys next time. Deuces, y'all. Shall not be in fridge. Trooper to shoving it under pressure. Batacath care, protect the troops. 2 words, made in America. And then there's this.
True international effort to pressure.
Trooper to shoving the pressure. Pushing down on me. Pushing down on you.
Anyway, we'll see you guys next time.
Awesome. Later.